What have you heard from the Iranians?
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. I had 60 days, and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day, I said, we don't have a deal. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
That within G7 before the president left late last night up in Canada there. And this is the truth social that they sent out. Everyone should immediately evacuate it. Easier said than done in the city of Tehran. The city itself has upwards of 9.5 to 10 million people. The surrounding metropolitan area of Tehran, upwards of 17 million. The country itself is massive. It's about the size of Alaska. It's twice the size of Texas. You could take 75 Israels and put it inside, fit it inside the geography of Iran. That's what you're dealing with here. The borders are extensive and long with Iraq. It's about 1,000 miles in length. Several up here with Armenia and Azerbaijan. Turkmenistan, you see as well. Afghanistan. Pakistan's got a border that extends about 500 miles. This is, thus far, what these neighboring countries have done. Pakistan announced its borders closed yesterday. Azerbaijan has done it as well. The airspace is closed over Tehran. Many of those taillights you see in the video that we've been showing for the last 2 days, it's been reported that many folks who live in Tehran are heading north to the Caspian Sea. There's the taillights there on the highways. They are jammed at night. It is so easy to see based on the video when the night gets dark. And up here, just back on the map quickly, this is the Caspian Sea in the north here, and that's where they believe a lot of folks are trying to seek refuge at the moment. General Jack Keane's with us now. And General, thank you for your time yet again with Jack and me. Jackie, why don't you begin with that specific question that we were talking about from the New York Times? Let's start there.
General Keane, thank you for being here. You know, I guess the real question that everyone's facing right now and the president is facing is how does this become a successful operation? And there's a lot of suggestion that it can't be a success if Fordo is still enriching at the end of it. But the U.S. military has been sort of mapping out what this would look like. And here's what the New York Times writes. The exercises led to the conclusion that one bomb would not solve the problem. Any attack on Fordo would have to come in waves, with B-2s releasing one bomb after another down the same hole. And the operation would have to be executed by an American pilot and crew. Is there a second option, a ground option, that the president might have on his menu of choices?
Well, certainly there are a number of options, and the real issue is that if the United States is going to do something here, it's likely going to be from the air because we have that capability. And let me say that if the United States was leading this campaign and Israel was supporting us, this would be a very complex and challenging set of targets to deal with Iran's complete nuclear enterprise that exceeds more than 12 bases out there where this enterprise is located, and some of them are buried under the ground. And they've spread out their enrichment, they've spread out their centrifuges to make this a difficult challenge. And the Ayatollah and his people have always had the thought, and this is why they never dismantled their nuclear program as a result of negotiations. They believed that they could absorb an air attack, and because so many of their capability is buried under the ground, they can survive that air attack in terms of capability, recover, and rebuild. They've always considered that to be a better option than voluntarily dismantling the program, which is what the Obama administration wanted them to do, and they conceded it very early in the negotiations and gave up the idea. That is the Obama administration. The Trump administration worked it for many, many weeks and got the same response pretty much from the Ayatollah and his negotiators. They weren't about to do it. And the reason is pretty obvious, because if he voluntarily gave it up with verification, it's gone. An airstrike, as complex, as tough as it is, he believes, and he has advisors to tell him that, he can survive it and recover the enterprise and rebuild it and still put a nuclear package together that will threaten Israel and the region. That's where these guys are.
General, just getting word now out of Tel Aviv, the Israeli military is saying it's completed yet another wave of attacks in western Iran, saying that happened a short time ago. Look at the U.S. Navy assets in the region. We were told yesterday the USS Nimitz was heading westbound through the Singapore Strait. We certainly want to make sure that our 40,000 men and women in that region are taken care of and in good safekeeping. Back to this bunker buster possibility. 30,000-pound weapon dropped by a B-2 bomber, possibly on this mountain. What is your level of confidence that one or two or more could do the job?
I have no idea how many it would take. I leave that to the people that are involved in the details of planning, if that's what's taken place. But I do think over time, we have the capability to render that particular site ineffective. It's obviously underneath a mountain, and I think the engineers are contributing to how you do that, but it likely has to collapse down on itself. So I think it's achievable, but it's a formidable target, and it would take likely successive attacks to do it. But the reality is, the issue is, what if we don't do that? And what if we take a knee that some people are saying that this is going to lead to another forever war? And let's take that off the table pretty quick here. The United States and Israel has no intention of conducting a ground invasion of Iran, similar to what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan, the purpose of which was for regime change, was for occupation, which led to nation building. And the length of that protracted the war, and that is a lousy taste people have in their mouth about it. But that's not on the plan here for anybody. This is an air campaign by Israel, and if the United States get involved in it, we are supporting that air campaign with a limited but very focused attack on maybe one or two of their buried facilities. And that's it.
Yeah, understood.
And then we would have to prepare for retaliation, was what you're just describing. The assets in the region are not only to protect our troops that are in those multiple bases, 40,000, but also to retaliate against Iran, and that would be quite decisively if they attacked us as a result of our participation in the campaign, or just attacked us in general.
Just to be clear, my question was not implying that it would be any sort of land invasion. It was just whether or not that asset, that 30,000-pound bomb, could do the job. And maybe at some point we see whether that's the case or not. General, thank you for coming back. We'll talk again later today. Jack Keane, thank you, sir.
Thank you, General.
All right. You're welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.